Well, it's Monday, February 13th. Billy is on his way over with his crew and his toys. And I'll try to show you what we're starting with, and then later on you can see what we wind up with, whatever that might be. Right now I moved the truck. I got to move those drums. That's waste diesel and oil mix for starting a fire on that. Started fires over there 3 times and the logs are so green I don't have the right gear to keep it burning. Billy's going to help out with that, I believe. At any rate, that'll be interesting. So shed is still working. Works good. I don't know if you can see that or not. I guess you can. Got the cot folded up over there. Got shelves and I've got all my gear inside now that's worth anything. Tools are in the corner here. Compressors are down on the floor over here. Right there. And this is what we're starting with. Seen this before, but we got a 1.5 foot of organic matter between pine leaves and branches and short pieces of logs and decaying wood, and all that's got to get scraped off, and it's going to get moved over there, this side of the, well, to the right of those power poles and the meter pole, but I'll have a big pile right there. It'll be in front of where the house is going to be. So that'll be a big, tall pile of stuff. The plan is to scrape all this off down to good clay, clean clay without all the organics in it. He's going to shove some of those trees, the right-hand side of it, over to the left some. That corner of the property over there was going to be the septic drain field. But we got a different plan for that. I'll talk about in a little while if I remember. But at any rate, what we're going to do is scrape all that organics off and get down to good clay. And then he's going to use his track hoe and start digging a big hole. And we're going to use my clay on my lot to build a pad for the house. So we're going to backfill all the stuff we scraped off over here and build it up high enough to where the water will be diverted around the house toward the back. And the lot slopes from right to left, so it'll be good drainage. It's just a very gentle slope. That's Hewlin over there. That's his daughter's place. She hasn't been staying there. She's got a guy she's been staying with, which is fine, which is cool. And he's getting some flooring he's got stored in that shed there to do some project with. He's got an interesting project over on his house might make a little video on later as well. It's been kind of unique. But those trees on the property line there, Billy's going to take his track hoe and bring them down. So we won't have any trees between the 2 lots. And Hewlin's been an awesome neighbor, so I don't mind that one bit. Hewlin basically told him, he says, I don't care whose side of the lots that those trees are on, let's get them down. He was going to offer to help me come over and chainsaw them, but Billy said I'll just get the track hoe and snap them off, and then all I have to do is just saw off the splintered stumps, which will be easy enough. Okay, at any rate, once we get it backfilled with good clay, built up all the way up here to where the driveway is going to be, it'll be, well, the containers are 40 foot deep. He's going to go at least 5 foot on each side, so it'll be a 50 foot deep pad by about 65 feet wide. We'll see how that looks when we can get it all scraped off and leveled. He's going to use a skid steer to spread it and level it and pack it. That's that little Caterpillar looking little job. It's like a track front end loader. He can move a whole tree by itself with that skid steer, so it's pretty heavy, so it'll pack that clay pretty good. We'll see how it goes. So at any rate, once we get that hole dug and all the clay moved out of it over onto where we want it, then I'm going to have a big pit over there. The big pile of organic dirt will go into the pit, and it'll be mounded up somewhat because it's always doesn't pack as tight as it starts off with. But being mounted up is fine. And that's going to be my gray water catch basin, if you want to call it that. I'll run some drain lines over there, and that's where I'll run my gray water. And we're going to be using a Biolet waterless toilet, so I won't have any of the septic tank requirements at all. Gray water you can get rid of underground. You just can't spray it in the air, they say. But I'll just use underground PVC pipe and run it over there to a drain field and let it drain. And I'll have a gravel trench, probably about 15 foot long. I'll have at least two, if not, probably two barrels cut in half. So I have 4 pieces of plastic barrels. And you dig it out, dig a trench deep enough to put some gravel in the bottom, about 18 inches of gravel or so, or big rock. And then you invert the barrel halves and cover them up, and that creates a cavity for the gray water to flow through. And that is a good catch basin for all the kitchen grease coming out of the sinks and stuff like that. Plus it's a surge, so that, you know, it can go ahead and drain into the organic mess pile, the pit, my gray water organic pit, if you want to call it that. So that clay over there won't be impervious like it is now. I mean, these ruts down here have had water in them for 6 weeks. The only way it gets out of the water out of the ruts is to evaporate. That caliche is just totally waterproof, it seems like. Anyway, that's the plan. This is what we're starting with. I'll update later. We'll see how it goes.